I'm going to be honest with you. If you would have told me that by, what are we in, Wednesday morning, the Arizona Cardinals still wouldn't have a head coach, I would have probably believed it, but I would have been as annoyed as I am today. So let's talk about that and much more in this edition of the Ben Garcia Show.
The Ben Garcia Show. Yeah. Best show in the land. Yup. Listen. Come and get your information from Ben Garcia. Get the latest on your quarterback, running backs, and receivers. Tune in, so any other show you don't need them. Any news that he giving out, please just believe him. Giving out the latest prediction and top-notch analysis. Wanna hear the truth, better have thick skin like callus. The latest move that your team just made can be damaging. The dudes ain't speaking no facts, they just be rambling. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. Yeah. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. The Ben Garcia Show.
What is up? And welcome in to yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Wherever you may be watching, following, consuming the Ben Garcia Show, appreciate you making myself and this show a part of your day. I apologize to you guys if you guys can't hear it already. I am a bit sick. This is just what happens when, it's the dead of winter. You're getting minimal sleep. As someone in the chat said, did the baby arrive yet? The baby is not here yet. Life is just crazy. And we're going to get through it. Here's what you guys want to know, something that's really funny about this whole thing. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out why in the world my stream isn't working. And I'm like, what is the technical concern? And I'm sitting here for like 15 minutes trying to figure out why my computer won't work. My camera and microphone weren't plugged in, just sitting right in front of me, just weren't plugged in. So that's the tone that we have set for this show this morning. Not only is my voice going away, not only have I been going to bed at like 2 a.m. the past two nights, last night because the Suns game ran late. And for those of you who don't know, I'm the host of Locked On Phoenix Suns for the Locked On Podcast Network. And I'm late to the stream this morning because I couldn't put together that my camera and microphone just weren't plugged in. Just one simple fix right in front of me. So that's the tone set for today's show. Some pure incompetency. And that might be a perfect tone set for today's show. Because the Arizona Cardinals continue to show their pure incompetency on full display. Now, people will probably say, well, Ben, why do you think that? Pretty plainly, it's Wednesday. And the Arizona Cardinals still don't have a head coach. I've got my guy Saul in the chat saying, are we getting a Ron Rivera rant this morning from Ben? I don't want to force the issue. One thing I dislike is fake outrage. And had this interview happened today or, whatever, right? Had it happened today, had it happened even yesterday or the day before it was yet to happen, I'd be more angry. I'm not going to get upset over something that appeared to happen weeks ago. Am I okay with it? No. Are the Arizona Cardinals professional time wasters? Absolutely. But I don't like fake outrage. One of the reasons why I think social media is a cesspool, and I would absolutely get rid of all of it in 1 second if it wasn't literally my job to be on social media, is I hate fake outrage. When people try to convince you just how angry they are and why you should feel as angry as them. No. The Ron Rivera thing is nonsense. The Arizona Cardinals are professional time wasters. Instead of interviewing the top candidates, Kevin Stefanski or John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin, Sean McDermott, they're interviewing 64-year-old, under 500, hasn't been in the league in a couple of years, riverboat Ron Rivera. It's so on brand. It's so on brand for Michael Bidwill. And I want to tell you guys this as well. I was at the Suns game last night. Obviously, that's the gig I do. That is legitimately my job is to cover the Phoenix Suns and everything, we do over for Locked On Podcast Network for the Phoenix Suns. And I got to tell you, I can't tell you who was in the conversation. And I have to be pretty vague about it. But what I will say is I came out of that conversation feeling pretty concerned about the Arizona Cardinals and just where they are going with their head coaching search. And now, what do I mean by that? Well, last night, I was in a conversation at the Suns game with multiple people there who cover the Suns, cover the Cardinals, do a lot of different things. And the thing that is basically holding this whole thing up is ownership. And the reasoning why everyone is in the dark is because Michael Bidwill's turtle shelling again. He's pissed off that you dare speak ill will of his name. So let me be even more clear. Michael Bidwill is so incapable of doing the competent thing on a night in, night out basis that it hurts. He is so incapable of following status quo that it's almost like it's a narcissistic disease. The Arizona Cardinals, and more specifically Michael Bidwill, still don't have a head coach. They've wine and dined Mike Lafleur. No one really knows which Chuck E. Cheese they went to, and if Michael Bidwill tried to split the bill with him. But they still don't have a head coach. And it just leads me to believe that the Arizona Cardinals, and more specifically Michael Bidwill, who is born on third base, we all know a Michael Bidwill or an Arizona Cardinals type of person in our life. They are the person that blames everyone for their life being bad outside of themselves. They're in a pyramid scheme. They still live with their mother. And they try to tell you just how unlucky they are. When in reality, the luck or lack thereof is staring at them right in the mirror, 24 hours, 7 days a week. They're incapable of just going with the status quo. They're incapable of just doing the right thing. And now they're backed into a corner. It is legitimately either Clint Kubiak. It is legitimately either Mike Lafleur or potentially Vance Joseph. And I got to tell you, after having my conversations yesterday with people much more high-ranking than me, I don't feel great about the situation. And the reasoning why I don't feel great, and I'm not saying that it's not going to get done. I'm not reporting anything. I'm not going to pretend to you like I have sourcing. I don't. And honestly, never been interested in being a newsbreaker. Feels like that's a slippery slope. But if I told you who I was talking with last night, and the mood around the Arizona Cardinals was so bleak that they felt like Mike Lafleur will probably get the job, but he has no shot at being successful because Michael Bidwill is the guy. And that got me thinking, is it impossible? Is it impossible that Mike Lafleur is having second thoughts? I think we're back. Are we back? Let me know in the chat if we are back here, guys. It looks like something went haywire here. Let me know in the chat if we are back. I think we're back. I'm going to look over here and make sure we're back. I think we're back. We are back. We are back. Okay. I'm sorry. Apologize for that, guys. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying before. The Cardinals are your friend that blames everything else on the world. Michael Bidwill has never made his own money. He's a trust fund kid who thinks he knows what he's doing because he's sitting on a mountain of wealth. And it wouldn't shock me if Mike Lafleur truly is having second thoughts. It wouldn't shock me. And so, what the Arizona Cardinals are doing now is what dysfunctional teams do. I don't know what they're waiting for. But what I will say is, if they hire Mike Lafleur, things can get better. But things are only going to get better with Mike Lafleur if they empower him. Mike Lafleur is 1,000% a shot in the dark. He's 1,000% a concerning candidate. For sure, he's got his flaws. But what I can say is this might be the best the Arizona Cardinals can do. So for that, they deserve some credit for getting the best coach plausible for them. Clint Kubiak told you no. McDermott told you no. Tomlin, Harbaugh, Stefanski, they all told you no. This might be your sixth choice. But your sixth choice comes in a really good coaching cycle. So in another coaching cycle where he might be third, second, in this one he's sixth. The question is not, can Mike Lafleur succeed? He absolutely can. Are you going to empower Mike Lafleur? Are you going to give him the money he needs to help build his staff? Are you going to give in to what he wants? Are you going to let him build your roster? That's the only question that is left to answer. I do think the Cardinals still hire Mike Lafleur. I know that they're incompetent. I know that they are downright dumb. I know this is one of the worst jobs in the league. But no one is that stupid. Like Michael Bidwill is an idiot. He ain't that big of an idiot. That's why last week on the Cardinal Squad show, I told my guys Clancy and Jameel, I don't think Vance Joseph gets this job. I think Mike Lafleur does over everyone else because I don't think Michael Bidwill is that stupid. But here's how Mike Lafleur succeeds. Here's how Mike Lafleur succeeds. And this is the only way the Cardinals will have success with Mike Lafleur. One, he has to have a long roadway. You need to give him 3 years to get this thing back on track. Could it be quicker than that? Absolutely. Two, he needs full autonomy on what to say on Kyler Murray's career. If he wants Kyler Murray here because he feels like that's the best chance for them to win games, Kyler Murray should be here. Three, he needs to have some say in the draft. He has been watching the Sean McVay offense for years. He's watched his brother's offense. If he says we're overruling this to get Spencer Fanu or the other tackle from Miami, the Cardinals need to just be able to do that. And then lastly, he needs the money to build his staff. No more young coaching staffs. No more first-time play callers on both sides of the ball. To make Mike Lafleur successful, I wouldn't mind a Ron Rivera as defensive coordinator or a Raheem Morris as a defensive coordinator. Someone who can also be his assistant head coach that he can look at and come to for advice and say, hey, not sure how you handled this back in Carolina or back with the Falcons? What did you do? Mike Lafleur, on his own, without some gray hairs around him, will not succeed. Control, pay him, and you have a chance at success. Michael Bidwill has to do things differently this time around. And I'm excited about Mike Lafleur, and I still believe he gets this job. But it's insane the amount of pussyfooting that is going around with the Arizona Cardinals. But if that is how he succeeds, and that is the only way he succeeds, and it would be out of the ordinary for the Arizona Cardinals to do all those things. Now, here's the other thing. Anthony Campanelli dropped out of the Arizona Cardinals race. What does that mean? Does it mean he wanted to stay with Jacksonville and wait for a better job? It's absolutely crazy that opposing head coaching candidates are choosing to stay with the dysfunctional Jacksonville Jaguars than the Arizona Cardinals. Now, are the Jags still dysfunctional? Doesn't really seem like that right now. But for the longest time, the Jacksonville Jaguars were a incredibly dysfunctional organization. But now people are sticking with him or sticking with them. What does that say about your coaching job? I think this thing is already wrapped up. I think one of the reasons why it's already wrapped up is because Campanelli went back to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think someone would pull their name. I don't think someone would pull their name from the discussion, from this team, without knowing that it isn't already done. Now, what are we waiting on? Probably the details of his contract. How much money is he going to get to build his staff? How much control is he going to have? Is he going to report to Monty Ossenfort or Michael Bidwill? These are all things that need to be hammered out. But the secrecy of the Cardinals head coaching position is just hilarious. The way the Cardinals go about their business. I'm sure the Ron Rivera interview was done in a bunker somewhere at Area 51. I don't know why everything has to be so secretive with this organization. It really makes no sense. Do you want to know why? Because no one really cares about the Cardinals head coaching opening. But Michael Bidwill treats it like the aliens they have at Area 51 that no one can know, see, touch, smell what the hell is going on. So that's where I'm at this point. This is the update. And if it feels like I'm already kind of running out of things to say, it's because I am. And it's because this is ridiculous. This is embarrassing for the Arizona Cardinals. Because we know who the Browns are going to hire. Jim Schwartz. We know who the Raiders are going to hire. Clint Kubiak, who was my number one guy the entire time. The Cardinals, who knows, man? It's a secret, and you don't get to be allowed into it. I will be going live the second the Arizona Cardinals do get a head coach, and we will react to it live. But it is asinine that they still don't have a coach. I'm not joking with you. It's like Michael Bidwill saw the report from Adam Schefter, who came out and said, I would be shocked if we still had any head coaching openings past Wednesday. And Michael Bidwill said, oh yeah, I'll show you, because I know. You don't know. I know. And I know I keep referencing my conversation from last night. And I'm sorry, because I don't like to backtrack when I do these things. But last night's conversations with a couple of different people that cover the Cardinals and have much more insider information than me, the holdup, I can promise you, is not Monty Ossenfort. The holdup, I can promise you, is not Mike Lafleur. The incompetency of Michael Bidwill is so real and so much worse than I thought that, again, full transparency and honesty with you. I had a real thought of I had a real thought of topic of discussion last night. I had a real thought in my brain. How much longer can I cover this team without being rewarded for it? Do I just find a different team to cover? Now, listen, none of those things are actually going to happen. I'm big on authenticity. I'm big on honesty. I don't want to be a phony. But from what I've heard, it's worse than I think it is. And even if the Cardinals have sustained success, this is where I want to start yelling, but I'm losing my voice. I'm clearly sick. No sleep over the past couple of nights. I couldn't figure out how to start my stream because the plugs just weren't plugged in. I mean, like, where are the brain cells going for me this morning? But Michael, like, it goes so deep. And Michael Bidwill is so dumb. And some people just stumble in and are born on third base and get generational wealth. And it's asinine to me just how undeserving he is of it. And if you want my honest opinion on it, my honest opinion is the Cardinals see everyone else zigging and they decide, oh, we're going to do the opposite. The Cardinals operate like they have won 10 Super Bowls. They do. And it is pure narcissism to think that you know better. And I know there are other shows out there that try to tell you that try to sell you on hope. I'm going to sell you on honesty. I don't know if they're like, and again, this might be me being a little too real about it. This might be me being a little emotional and a little tired. But this could not be a worse head coaching search. They might come out of it with a pretty good candidate and a guy who I think has clear question marks, but I like. But the root of the problems is their owner, and I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And so here's the last thing I'll say. And I haven't been reading your guys' chats, and I apologize. That's shame on me. And I will read them in just a second, but here's what I will say. Should you be concerned that Mike Lafleur still hasn't gotten the job yet? Yes, you should be. If this was a stable and functional organization that you could trust on a night in, night out, day out basis, it would be different. But this is the Arizona Cardinals, where they operate on a 1950s outdated mentality. I know better than you. Ideology. I don't know. I think he's going to get the job, but I can't say for certain. I want to take some time to answer some questions for you guys in the chat, but I will only answer them if they're super chats. I'm just kidding. I saw someone on social media the other day, like, leave their stream because they weren't getting super chats. Thought this is a massive streamer. For the love of God, do not send me anything. I was just joking with you. You guys being in here is a presence all to me, but I love doing this with you guys. But I saw some streamer like leave the stream because no one was sending them money. And I'm like, dude, you got thousands of people in there. I'm just thrilled when I got, 30 people in here. But anyways, let's go through some of your guys' chats really quickly. Because I did not look at them this morning, so give me a brief second. My guy, Jack Honcho, should we start panicking? Yes, you should. You should start panicking. It's the Arizona Cardinals. Now, sports panic. No one's dying. This is sports at the end of the day. But yeah, I think you should. This is the Cardinals. They haven't earned the right for you to think that that's not true. My guy in the chat, did the baby arrive? No. I am tired and beat because of the Suns game last night that I didn't get home till like 1:30. Didn't fall asleep till like 2. So I actually debated not doing the show this morning and doing it later when the Cardinals potentially hire a head coach, but I don't know if they're going to hire a head coach. My main question is, are the Cardinals waiting for Kubiak? They can wait for him. He's not waiting for them. Mike Lafleur, the new head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. I hope so. I did see a report he was still in Arizona. That's probably true. I don't think they let him out of his sights. Mike Lafleur, no. Sick of this frame. Are we getting a repenting? No, I don't want to have fake outrage. Ron Rivera happened weeks ago. Classic Michael Bidwill, though, to do something stupid. Playing devil's advocate. The only acceptable reason for the delay would be waiting to nail down the rest of the coaching staff. 100%. And that's kind of what I hit on earlier. I think they're just waiting to nail down this coaching staff. Ben's Suns question. What do you think of Suns bringing back Kelly Oubre? We didn't talk about any Suns today, and I'm not going to talk about any Suns until this Cardinals coaching cycle is over on the Ben Garcia show. Clearly, I'll do that on Locked On Suns. What I will say is, no. Kelly Oubre doesn't add anything to this team that the Suns don't already have. I like Kelly Oubre. I appreciate what he did for the Suns, but he doesn't add anything to what the Suns team doesn't already have. He's just longer Royce O'Neal. He doesn't add the defense or the rebounding that I'm looking for. So I'm okay with that. But appreciate you watching both shows, brother. And I will talk Suns on this show too. I will talk Suns on this show too, just after the Cardinals finally hire a head coach. Bidwill, Kubiak. Let's see. Trying to see if there's anything else. Does waiting this long affect the draft as well? No, not at all. And two different things. Cards and Browns are the most incompetent. Who's more incompetent? The Cardinals or the Browns? That's the better question. I would argue it's the Browns, but the Cardinals aren't that far behind. Makes you wonder if they interviewed anyone else. 100% DJ Boogie. 150%. They could have brought me in for an interview at this point, and I wouldn't even know. Green Bay broadcasters are pretty confident LaFleur was going to be their OC. I haven't seen anything of that, so we'll see. If we don't know anything by noon, it's not looking good. You guys remember how good Daryl Washington was in 2012? Yeah, and then he beat his pregnant girlfriend. So, terrible person. He did have that little stint in 2012, but yes, Daryl Washington, not a great person. Arizona Sports said they interviewed Ron Rivera. Where did that come? Diana Rossini. She put that out yesterday. Definitely came from Ron Rivera's people. If I was coaching the Cardinals search, was going to be this bad, they should have just kept Gannon. I don't think you're necessarily wrong about that one. If he thinks Kyler gives us the best chance to win, he is the wrong choice for this job, period. Tell us how you really feel, Steve. Sure, I can have my opinions on Kyler Murray and if he gives us the best chance to win. But I am humble enough to know that maybe Mike Lafleur knows more about football than me, and his scheme might fit Kyler Murray a little bit more. So if he wants Kyler here, I'll back it. Starting to believe Kyler and the head coach issue. Starting to believe it's a Kyler and head coach issue between both of them. What do you mean by that? I guess I don't understand. And then I don't care about the K1 situation. If Luan wants K1, so be it. DJ Boogie gets it. Okay, guys. Shorter show for you guys today because I think the Cardinals are going to hire a head coach today. So I know there wasn't a ton, but I wanted to brief check in with you guys about what I thought was going on with the Cardinals head coaching search. There's not too much to report as of now. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show, especially on TikTok and Instagram, where you'll see my instant reaction reacting to the hire. As soon as the Cardinals hire someone, I will go live. That is unless, of course, they hire someone at like 3 p.m. or later because I have a real big boy job. So we will go on Thursday and stream then and react to the Cardinals hiring of Mike Lafleur. But if they hire someone from now to like 1:15, I will go live. But I just want to check in with you guys. I don't want to miss shows. But normally, the normal broadcasting schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m. With the exception of the Cardinals hiring a head coach at any moment, then I will go live. Unless they hire a head coach at 3, I have to go to my regular job. I work there all day, and then we'll figure it out from there. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for being in here. Thank you so much for dealing with all the stream troubles. Do me a favor, hit that like, share, subscribe button. We will get much deeper into things when Mike Lafleur is potentially hired. And then we'll get into some Sun stuff. We'll transition into basketball season. But for now, our main focus is this Cardinals thing. So follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. I'm going to go rest my voice. I'm going to go take a Tylenol cold and sinus or ibuprofen cold and sinus. Appreciate you guys being here. Stay safe. My name is Benjamin Garcia. It's been the Ben Garcia Show. See you guys at an emergency stream if they hire Mike Lafleur or on Friday at 8 a.m.